match. We do have the team lineup for Enigma and Irewolf, Rakudo, Persona, Lioli, Zappa, and Thought. And then going over to the Thx4Scrims, we have Stutter, Wizander, the 22 guy, Evan, Brainiac, and Seriftic Goose. So we're going to be looking at the lineup that they're going to be bringing here. Possibly a 2-2-2 coming out from Thx4Scrims, and since Enigma right now is running a Torbjorn, I'm not going to trust any composition that they're throwing at me. Okay, looks like we're going to be seeing a
2-2-2 is very good at countering goats, especially on this first on guard and on Legion Tower, because especially with that bridge, if you have a looping potential, goats doesn't have a lot of mobility. Meanwhile, like if you're running like a Genji, a Tracer, you have that survivability, you have kind of annoyance factor net in there.
Absolutely. We're going to get a hack off of, and a couple tanks dropping pretty low. Evan getting the refrag onto him, but no good deed goes unpunished. Lioli's dropping pretty low, and Septic Goose going to be going in for the main tank on main tank battle, finding his target as Evan gets res back up. And it looks like Thx4Scrims is going to be winning this battle pretty convincingly here, denying the remech on the Persona. However, Lioli says it's not done. He's just going to quickly get that D-mech onto the 22 guy to close out the fight. Valkyrie is being thrown in there just because he has to get that extra healing on. Rally's running out, and it looks like they're going to be pushing straight on the point. Forcing close quarters combat is exactly what Ghost is supposed to be used for. Being stunned out, Evan almost gets taken down, but he escapes with his life, almost getting all the way up to that EMP. Diva Bomb being thrown in. Gonna not find anybody, but good enough to clear the point for a little bit, although the turn does go in, finding 5 members. Barrage going in early. Defense Matrix just to protect Brainiac as he gets that off. Evan being chopped down by Persona, but Persona being killed right afterwards. The only one left in the points, Lioli. Lioli, he's going to be taken down by Sereptic Goose, and that's going to be a swip from the side of Thx4Scrims. Only 19% gone onto the side of Enigma. Evan going low, but teleporting back. He's going to be out of the fight for at least a couple seconds. 70% on the clock, and they're being touched now. Only a couple people left on the point to touch. They've taken out Sereptic Goose with that Valkyrie, the solo Valkyrie, just to try and get himself down. But the refrag's been put on. Brainiac knows that he's got to get some frags. He gets 3. Evan coming back into the fight, finding Rakudo, finding that early pick or the late pick onto that main tank is going to be huge. Lioli again finding 1 pick off onto Evan. Diva Bomb being thrown in, maybe it can catch someone. Finds with Xander, that's huge. They're not going to be able to build up that sound barrier for the next fight. However, Ironwolf throwing his in. Going to pull up a few people, keeping them up on that health. Brainiac dropping pretty low, but has that Mercy pocket in order to be able to get back in there. Evan has that EMP, but is he going to be able to use it yet? Very close in. The 22 guy is going to be hacked out and then taken out. So as we have Ioli coming in with that Transcendence, going to be denying the ability to do a decent amount of damage to any people on his team. Looks like no ultimates are going to be thrown in really from Thx4Scrims besides the Primal Rage. I believe Stutter threw his. The only difference is they have 1 tank, 1 support, and 1 DPS ultimate. One gets thrown in. We have the EMP and we have the bomb. Not doing anything. Finding Persona's mech though. Kuno gets hacked out on that Winston. Zappa dropping very low. Are they going to be able to find him? He's popped Rally just to try and keep himself alive. Pulse Bomb zones people away from him, but it's not enough to affect Lioli. Zappa is going in, trying to kill Brainiac and take a couple picks for themselves. It doesn't look like Stutter's going to be able to try and go in for the res. He might try to, but it's probably not going to be very helpful because they're going to have to retreat here and regroup. Having used so many ultimates, that's going to be a bad case for them. 100%. As we're going to be moving in, Wizander is going to definitely try and get his ultimate. We're going to have that Diva Bomb thrown and see if it can get anything done. Wizander's been taken out. That means no protection for his team from that sound barrier. And as some people are being booped off the edge, we have 1 kill from Brainiac's Barrage, and that doesn't look like it's going to be enough. I don't think they're going to be able to get back to point here. Maybe, we have Evans on the point, trying to get a little bit of stalling done here. 2 tanks onto the point, and Wizander saying that before he can even detonate his sound barrier. That's huge. Just not be able to detonate a feed, so there's no extra protection for the rest of the team. Primal range from Sereptic Goose is being thrown onto the point just to try and stall out and keep his team ready, but that 1000 HP is burned down really quickly. Stutter's switching onto the Moira to try and get back to point faster and provide support. Just not working out too well for him. He's got about 60% of his ultimate though. It doesn't matter. Lioli is being abusive to the enemy supports here, taking out Wizander, then Stutter, and it looks like we're gonna have a first point win for Enigma. Zarya looking to get some charge, but Wizander seeing the jump being taken down is gonna boot Rakudo right off that point, right off the edge. Persona being melted down. pretty quickly, almost being DMAC. That's the DMAC going through there, trying to get a little bit more damage into the backline with that Discord telling him to stutter, but the Discord's going to be taking out Laioli. Again, finding a point for his team, taking out Brainiac. He seems to be the one getting the most picks out of here. 22 guys going up. He's been bubbled. He's not taking any of that damage. However, Evan is going to be getting a lot of charge put up onto him. Right now, he is at 90 charge. That's got to be something to look out for. He's going to be poking a little bit more up towards the beginning, trying to get some charge. Rakudo swell for them when they first retook the point, but not so much towards the end when they switched to that Winston. Thx4Scrims is taking really low where Iron Wolf is finding the melee kill on the Brainiac. Kudo also dropping pretty low. If they can find some refrags, a massive shatter going in and finding the mech of Persona, but it's not early enough. The D-mech is coming through, and there's almost a Graviton Surge here for Evan. That must have been a miscommunication. Both major support ultimates both defensive support ultimates used for the side of Enigma, so they now have nothing really to counter the grab except their own grab in the hopes that they can take things out early. But that might not be possible. Moving up to 44% on the point, Enigma is going to flip it over to their side. Kudo almost at that shatter along with Persona's Diva Bomb. They could make something work there. They're coming down to protect everyone in it. Graviton Surge is not going to be able to find much because of that sound barrier. Eaten by the 22 guy. That's a massive eat. 22 guy just finding a lot of ground here. They can take out Iron Wolf, who's pushed up a little bit too far. They might be able to do something. They do have Persona in the backline, just not being taken care of as the baby diva, and that's going to be a major problem for them. Iron Wolf dropping really low, but so far no one taking him out. I stand corrected. 22 guy again finding his worth, going to be able to come in and take out Iron Wolf before he can do any stall maneuvers. That's one of the biggest pains there is, to try and get a Lucio off your point and get it flipped. In the end, Enigma did buy themselves 60% on that point, more than Thx4Scrims had before it was flipped for them, for Enigma. They have a decent amount of ults coming online here. The only one that's not going to be ready in time, I would believe, is Laioli. But he's being dropped down pretty low. If they can keep him from doing any meaningful healing... Oh, two stuns from that shatter. Thx4Scrims taking out Spadina. And that sound barrier going down, even though they're down one member, they will not be getting this Graviton Surge from Spadina coming into this match. The Earth Shatter goes straight into the shield. Two Diva Bombs going through. And as it's happening, the 22 guy is going to find the Mecha Persona. That's what happens again. Sound barrier going down, not enough to protect Thx4Scrims, but it doesn't matter. Started taking out Rakudo. That's one main tank for one main tank. That's okay, especially when you're on the defending side and there's an even spawn advantage. 95% of the clock. They need to push this in now. Transcendence coming in, probably to nullify a lot of the damage. They're not going to get any picks off of this, and they're not even going to touch. Looks like a little bit of a miscommunication from Iron Wolf, and just moving into this point, they looked so dominant here. Thx4Scrims really turning things around.
Thx4Scrims is definitely playing a lot better on this Goat comp, especially Thx4Scrims on this Reinhardt. He is doing absolutely amazing. He's hit like 3 or 4 shatters already, and they've all been decently like huge. And I think that if they keep playing Goats, Thx4Scrims could take this.
I definitely agree. It's going to be a very close game. Rakudo being stunned and dropped down to about 50% health. Brainiac dropping low. Matching the choke is going on. Evan's on high charge, just looking to get some of that poke damage in there. Build up his ultimate. He's already at almost 40% going into this. Persona dropped to about half. If they can get the D-Mech, it's going to be huge, and they do. Thx4Scrims finding on Evan, though. Evan getting the D-Mech, but being killed out as a consequence. Laioli is being a massive disturbance to most of the support line, finding a kill on the Brainiac, and then Thx4Scrims falls soon afterwards. And it looks like Enigma has won themselves the fight for this one point. Moving into this point, we are going to look back at the ultimate game. And fortunately for Thx4Scrims, it looks like the ultimate game is relatively the same. They're both close to a lot of their ultimates. Persona, because of that early D-Mech, is not going to have as much ultimate charge, moving in at 50%. Zappa popping the rally early. With the Graviton Surge being thrown in, it looks like they're just going to let themselves be wiped here. 2 ultimates being used, buying themselves probably another 40% on the clock, which is going to be a really big deal. But moving into this next point, they're going to have almost every ultimate. The bad thing is, though, right now, moving it up to the 51. That's going to be almost a high enough charge to consider himself a high-level DPS. As they're moving forward, though, they want to get some stuff done. Earth Shadow goes straight into her shield, not really finding much, and we do have the high charge coming back in, 60%. One more destroyed fire will have them at the 100. Trying to get some more poke damage and to get up to that Graviton Surge. They've almost got it, but Thx4Scrims, because the bubbles were not there, he's going to be taken out and strangled by the rest of the team. Just killed. He wants to escape here. Evan wants to escape just to make sure he can keep the charge, but it's not going to happen. Iron Wolf does not want that to happen. Smart guy. They're going to buy themselves even more percentage on the clock here. Finding Thx4Scrims inches away from the door. That's huge. And as they're going to be moving in here, what they're going to be wanting to see is they're going to want to see if they can bleed some more ultimates moving into this. Latina is going to have that Graviton Surge in this next fight. Evan wants to be able to use it while Lioli and Iron Wolf do not have their ultimates up. The only defensive ult that's possible here is Zappa. The Graviton Surge is dueling, coming onto the end here. And we're finding a lot of kills here for the side of Enigma. Only one person left, and that's Thx4Scrims. That's just not going to be enough. There's going to be 95% of the clock, and I don't think anyone's going to be able to make it. I think it's probably Enigma's game right here. Nope, just not going to be able to make it. Thx4Scrims going onto the Hammond just to try and see if he can touch, but it's not going to happen. Enigma winning that almost by a mile after the first take. That was a beautiful job by them, and I think that proves your point more so. Sneaky, as we're moving into this, that Enigma, that it was definitely a little bit of an Enigma there. They're going to be looking through, maybe not having as good a job on Goats for that first map, on that first and second map, but moving into this third map, they looked absolutely dominant on Goats. What do you think it was Iron Wolf going to be the first target? No, it's Patina is going to be the second target. Brainiac being found out by Persona. He went in for that kill, but he got punished for it. Thx4Scrims having to back out a little bit here. Going to be dropped pretty low, but he's got the Primal if they need to stall it out. Brainiac dove in hard, and they used up that ultimate mostly because it looked like he wants to switch onto the Junkrat. As they're going to be moving on, Kudo is going to be dropped, being killed almost instantly. They tried with a Primal, but it's not going to work for them. Bomb goes in, finds Iron Wolf. It's a little bit of overkill here. They've won this fight already. Lioli is going to, that sound barrier is going to have to reset it. Zappa also using ultimate. That's 3 ultimates that were used for no gain on the side of Enigma. If you want to look at Thx4Scrims, they do have 3 ultimates also used, but they have gotten the gain. So arguably it benefits them a little bit more. A little bit of contention has to come out from the 22 guy because although they have the high ground, they cannot allow the point to go through. Diva Bomb being thrown in, seeing if they can get anything done, not finding anything, but forces them off the high ground, and that's a C9. They're not going to be able to come and contest the point because of the Diva Bomb's excellent placement. They're just going to have to wipe here, moving into the second point.
Could be that since they have a Winston, it could be easier to shatter them, but at the same time, the mobility of this Winston, Diva, Lucio, you're only going to be able to maybe get the Zenyatta, if anything, and plus, Reinhardt does kind of counter this comp in a sense, but at the same time he doesn't because the mobility of the other tanks, they just jump on top of him and he can't do much.
Absolutely, and as they're moving into the second point, they're already down the 2 guy. Green ended up eating another Graviton Surge, which didn't seem to matter much because they ended up getting a lot more and winning the team fight. Brainiac dropping pretty low. They're trying to desperately stall us out, get some more ult charge for themselves, but it doesn't seem to matter. They're moving into the second point now. Just Lucio left to stall, as I was talking about before. Very annoying. But Wazander's going to be taken out at the... Looks like it's probably going to happen, seeing as he's about 90%. But if he gets taken out, if Soda gets taken out before it's a chance to be used, Diva Bomb thrown in, not finding anybody. Brainiac dropping pretty low. Probably going to be found out. Rally is going to keep him alive. Thx4Scrims is also dropping pretty low. Double support ultimates being thrown in. It looks like a little bit of a panic and miscommunication there. You should not be using all of your support ultimates at once. All 3 were used. Evan has the Graviton Surge. They're going to be throwing both in there just to get more in. But 22 guys finding 3 with the Diva Bomb. That's massive. Thx4Scrims also falling though. If they can clean this up, it's still a winnable fight. But Persona, Lioli is finding the picks. If he gets the pick onto Evans, they might turn this fight around completely. Heck, Zappa though, they cannot get aggressive onto Zappa in front of the shield, and because of this, Latina is able to find those find those kills. All 3 kills going to Tatiana on this point, and it looks like we're going to be seeing a very good ultimate bank moving into the last few meters here, and the grab is going to come off the point just to keep them off. They're not going to be able to make it on. A couple kills in the end there, but it doesn't seem to be enough. It doesn't seem to be enough to keep their spirits dampened. It looks like they're going to try hard there. And it looks like Enigma is going to be holding the high ground, as Thx4Scrims is going to be keeping this defense the same. bit of a weird bunker comp. I don't think I've ever seen this before, but I'll be very interested to see how it fares against this more mobile composition going into this fight. We have all of them dropping down, and probably we're gonna, yep, there's the immortality field. We're gonna have to target that out. Found out by Laoi. Rakudo dropping very low. If they can take him out here, that's gonna be massive for them. Sereptic Goose is, however, going to be the first main tank to fall, and probably going to set the pace for the rest of this first stage. Looks like they're going to be swapping off this now. Sereptic Goose is onto the Reinhardt. Brainiac looks like he's going to stay on the Baptiste. Being too big of a deal as those ultimates come in with that shield, they are going to find Brainiac, and unfortunately for them, an ultimate was used from Rosander, but they did end up baiting out 3 ultimates, 4 technically, from the side of Enigma. Enigma used Rakudo's Primal for 1 trade on the Diva Bomb for the Lucio. Pretty decent mirror there. It's an even fight on both sides. Moving into this point, though, we do have Zappa being dropped, and Laoli is going to follow. Evan putting in that damage on, making sure Sereptic Goose is going to have his Earth Shatter go and be worth it. Patina is going to be dropped. Only Lucio is left to contest, being stunned out. He might be picked off now. Brainiac gets him. The only 2 people left on point are the tanks. Rakudo and Persona are the only 2 people left. Both of them at about half health. Rakudo gonna find that Primal just to be able to stall out. Dropping to about half health, maybe a little bit lower. That Discord Orb is gonna make him eat damage real fast. He gets dropped 1,000 health, melting really fast. Persona having to fly away for the same reason. It looks like we have the Graviton Surge being thrown onto point, trying to see if they can get any of the tanks done, but the rally is just gonna help them stay up even further. Sereptic Goose is being dropped pretty low though, and it looks like they got off the point. Unfortunately, the kills do come in for Thx4Scrims and push right over the bridge. Finding Evan, a main tank for an off tank though, that could be a favorable trade. 1 support ult for each team, 2 support ults for the sides of Enigma. Let's see if it pays off. Sereptic Goose being found out along with Stutter. They're going to find the picks enough to make them have to reset. The 22 guy being melted down with that Discord Orb. Almost going to die here, and he's stalled out a little bit more, and unfortunately the stagger comes through. Kudo, kills the 22 guy. They could have chosen to do a further stagger, but they gave him a quick and merciful death. Thanks to the Scrims, they have to say the same. Stutter being found out early, that's their Transcendence, their only support ultimate. They're going to use the Shatter anyway. They do force out a Transcendence, and Iron Wolf is found. That's a really big deal. However, Wazander is going to be killed by the Primal Rage. Persona doing a little bit of damage in the back there, just trying to get a little bit of extra damage. A lot of ultimates coming online soon for Enigma, but having them and coming online, 2 different things. We're going to be seeing Brainiac throw out the ultimate, and the ultimate also being thrown out by Zappa. Rakudo dropping very low, almost at the Primal, so if he can get that, he has the sustainability to do it. Lyoli throwing out that Transcendence, so that's what they're going to be able to need to stay up. Earth Shadow going straight into the shield. Oh no, finds Lyoli. Rakudo probably going to get eaten up. Oh, we have 2 kills from the 22 guy. He's really being a key player in this matchup. Rakudo being melted again. They seem to have a really decent focus onto this Winston. Diva just contesting the point. Persona trying to be a little bit sneaky. I can see the sneakiness coming out from him. He's doing his job right, as they're going to be pushing this into the second point. Nasty stagger onto Persona. They're going to have to regroup. If they can get one of those stagger kills from the not so good spawn coming from Enigma, that would be nice, but it doesn't look like they're going to try and chase it, which is probably the smart idea. Persona just now respawning as they move on to the second point. Got to remember here, Thx4Scrims has to get all the... If they close this out, it's going to be 1 minute added to each team's time bank, just so they can get a little bit done. Diva Bomb thrown in from both sides. Not finding much. Finding Wazander from Persona. That's massive for them. That's 1 hero down that they're not going to have moving to this next point. Zappa finding his counterpart into Brainiac. It's a Brigitte v. Brigitte. Earth Shadow going straight into her shield. Sereptic Goose being booped into the middle of the enemy team. With the Discord Orb, it's going to be a massive job to keep him alive, and it doesn't look like it's going to work very well. It looks like it's probably going to be a last point, first point, sorry, it's going to be a last point hold coming in from Enigma, and it looks like they're going to be winning this game as well with a team kill, putting the punctuation at the end of that game sentence. To the other side, just to put on a little bit of a pressure onto the point. Thx4Scrims is going to be moving up to the other point just to make sure that they can get some good positioning. The 22 guy is going to have to touch the point, but demeched in the process. Evan's taken for a ride moving in, and Rakudo Rakudo takes advantage and takes out Evan early. However, Brainiac finding Rakudo because of this, Persona dropping low as well. It looks like they're going to be holding for now, and the res goes through onto Evan. He's going to be brought back up, and they're going to allow themselves to put on some pressure, but Laoi is going to be killing Brainiac straight out. That's not enough charge there. Bastion is going to be throwing himself straight into the point with the Discord Orb. He's going to be taken out really quickly after the solo shatter. Sereptic Goose dropping the bongo just to try and get a little bit more damage in. 22 guy not having the self-destruct in time, and it looks like Enigma with the sustainability is just going to be able to come back and just pile drive their way onto the point and not have to stall it out anymore. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. That was a really good hold thanks to the scrims later. So, it's very impressive that what he says happens as he's saying it. And Persona finding the double kill, Zappa following up with a triple. They're just going to have to fall back here. Evans with the high charge, choosing to give his life up just to give himself a little bit more ultimate charge. Tatiana has the 22% and Evan from Sereptic Goose and the 22 guy moving in. So it's a Shadow and a D-Bomb, which is fight winning if you can land it properly. And we're seeing them moving to the point here. Shadow goes straight into the shield, while Rakudo throws a Shadow in there, does not find anything. Brainiac is going to find him out right afterwards. Zappa dropping really low, even though he's invested the rally. He might just be picked off here. No, he's going to be kept straight back up. Rally ends! 2 people down. They're not going to invest the Diva Bomb movement. Oh, they already invested the Diva Bomb. I completely missed that. And they're not going to do any more ultimates being invested here. Stutter is going to keep hitting. It's going to be huge as they're moving in here. Tatiana is going to throw that in there, but it's not going to be finding anything. We do have the Diva Bomb coming in, not finding any targets. Evan is going to be dropped down by the Earth Shatter. Iron Wolf finding Sereptic Goose with 4 other team members' help. Wizander is just trying to stall out a little bit more. That annoying Lucio straight on the payload, trying to make sure that they can't get any more distance. That looks like they probably will be taking this. It will be an overtime, which is both good and bad because they get both of the points. But that means if Thx4Scrims ends up getting this in anything other than overtime or over a minute, then all they need to do on the next phase is to get the first take on the first point. That's a bit presumptuous, so as the Diva Bomb comes in, not finding anything, but it looks like they're not going to have to at percent, whereas Rakudo falls. That's a massive pick. And Iron Wolf dropping very low. 22 guy finding the second pick. Persona dropping low. Zappa finds Stutter, and Tatiana finds Sereptic Goose. So 2 key players down, but Evan and Brainiac doing their DPS thing and taking out all the enemy members. Only one left is Tatiana, drops down at 100 charge, so gets up. It's actually really impressive, especially considering it's a Lucio on this map. Rakudo dropping very low, no shield. Could be found out pretty quickly here, but it looks like he's going to be healed up. Contestion on almost 5 meters left on the point. We have a High Noon going in. Finds Sereptic Goose, which is going to be a massive pick. Earth Shatter goes in unprotected, throwing in a lot of ultimates here, just trying to make sure that the point does not go in the favor of Thx4Scrims.
Best head for the hills.
Do you think that they needed to use that ultimate? I know that you haven't seen it yet. It's in time. Earth Shatter being thrown out, only finding Evan, but he does not get taken out. Sereptic Goose is found though. So many ultimates thrown in from both sides. Iron Wolf has his ultimate. Evan is going to be found out. That charge is not going to be able to keep it. The only survivor of that horrific tail is the 22 guys. He's going to be moving back to point. Finding any targets from the Earth Shadow. Rakudo, actually, I stand corrected, was found by it, but no picks on either side. A lot of ultimates being thrown in here. It's moving into the 30-second range. It's the last chance for both teams. Rakudo dropping very low. They can't find him yet. Evans is going to be the first to fall, and they're only going to have 1 push left if they don't regroup here. They might just try and keep pushing this, even though there's so many people down. The 22 guy is going to be demeched and probably staggered. He's staying alive for the time being. They're going to want to stagger him as it goes before the 5-second mark. As the time ticks down, no one's going to be able to touch the point. Since they got killed before the 5-second mark, there's no overtime being triggered. Enigma's going to walk away with the map win. They've won. It's 3 maps to 0, but we are going to be playing the